This is Raptor News. Houston, we have a problem. We have the star I believe to be Betelgeuse out in our night sky, western, around 10 to 11 o'clock, shining in the night sky with a cloud around it. We're only seeing, since it's night, the camera is not picking it up the way that your eye will pick up, so you're only seeing a light going sideways. Well, that light was going all the way around it, and basically it seemed to be meteorites, a shooting stars coming out from the bottom of this, and then this thing was blinking in and out. So it would go in and out like you're seeing right here. It was blinking in and out, and then it would show up in a different location as if the whole damn thing was moving. So is this what the government is saying is going to be the second wave that's coming down that's going to kill so many people?
Okay, so there's the weird light over there. I want to show you where the lights are on the ground. See if there's one there. Those are the really high ones on the interstate. And then there's this thing in the fog. When I zoom in really close, it disappears, but you can still see it's sitting there. It's like too fucking...
Why only that one star is showing up on the camera when there are so many out? I don't know what's going on. Pete was going to walk the dogs and he called me. He said, come here, come here. There was a light again. What the heck is that?
We are looking at the brightest star in the sky for weeks now. Even out of focus, you can see how bright that is. Even out of focus. You see how bright it is though. You see bright. It's brighter and closer than any other stars in the sky. Right now, you guys can see that bright one star. But through my eyes, I can see other stars that are dim around it. And I'm telling you that because this is like the brightest star ever. Like brightest. You may not think, well, there's no other stars out there. There's other stars out there. But this is the dominant one. And this one shines bright as the moon. Even though the moon is the dominant one over the night.
The first thing I recall about this dream was that I believe I was inside an American inner city and it was nighttime. Next, I decided to look up into the sky and I believe I beheld the planet Jupiter. The planet Jupiter was extremely bright. It was as bright than any full moon that I ever seen. And it was so bright that it was able to cast light upon dark areas that I seen in my dream. In any case, I was so close to the planet Jupiter that I was able to see maybe one or two spherical objects cross in front of the planet Jupiter, and whatever these items or objects were, they cast a shadow in front of Jupiter. A lot of things I've seen in my dream pertaining to space, near the Orion constellation, near the Taurus constellation. It's going to become very active. Stars that people here in Brooklyn, New York, have been always invisible to us, because here in Brooklyn, New York, we don't, get a chance to see a lot of stars at night because of a great deal of light pollution that New York City emanates. But a lot of my dreams are telling me pertaining to space, and what's going on out of space. What will go on out of space is that the area between Orion and Taurus will light up, and a lot of stars will begin to appear. And whatever caused the stars to appear between the constellation of Orion and the constellation Taurus may have some type of effect on the planet Jupiter, or the planet Jupiter itself may actually ignite and try to become a second sun in our solar system.
We were looking at the moon, which was right here, and at the time none of these other planets were here.
Okay, so this is the moon.
That's the moon.
Okay.
But it was, at the time, it was only that. It was just that, the black sky, and a ton of stars.
Okay.
And after maybe a good 20, maybe a few 20 minutes,
we were just looking at the sky. We were just looking
at the sky, and it was really low, but big, and it took up almost the whole sky. After a while, a planet that I thought was Saturn started appearing. It started overlapping over the moon. But it started to fade in, and it just appeared out of nowhere.
Okay.
And it was kind of freaky at first, and then all of a sudden, the moon started to do this weird kind of charging effect, and it was emitting like this kind of light, and it looked similar to this.
Okay.
And that's how it emitted.
Okay.
And then after, that went on for a good maybe 20 minutes or so.
So after this planet came into the atmosphere and went before the moon, then the moon started emitting that,
But none of these other planets were there.
None of these were there, okay.
It was just these two.
These two, okay. And what did I say? I said, no, that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Yeah, you were telling me that that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Okay, and it had the ring around it like that.
It had the ring,
That's why you thought it was Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, as the moon started to charge, I guess you could say, it started bursting out of these waves of energy, bursting out of these waves of energy, bursting out of these waves of energy.
What sort of damage could an exploding star do to Earth? Well, think of stars as being like nuclear power plants. If they explode, you're looking at a disaster of cosmic proportions. Anything within 50 light years of the exploding Betelgeuse will suffer massive shockwaves and be inundated with dust and radiation. Will you survive the celestial eruption?
And I have an example, but it's not all these colors. It's a solid blue.
Solid blue, okay.
Mm-hmm. The outside is like a dark blue, and as it goes forward throughout the sky, it turns into a lighter blue, but it looks similar to this.
Oh, so that was all blue.
That's all blue, and that's how it started to charge, and it exploded the whole sky.
And the whole sky turned into that blue color across the sky.
And then right as the second charge, or the first charge came, all these different planets started to appear.
Okay, which ones appeared first? Do you remember?
They just all appeared at once.
At once.
As the wave went, they all appeared.
Oh, okay.
And then,
okay. So you said another one came in after this one and created another charge.
Yeah, well, the moon created two charges.
Okay.
It was the first one, and then after the first one, all these planets appeared, and then after the second one, it did it again. Except after the second charge, it went onto the Earth. And as the shock wave went and covered the whole Earth, it took down trees, it took down house debris, it took down everything with it.
And so last night, we was watching the star flashing like that in the sky, but it was dark, and basically it had a ring around it like you see, and basically it seems to be like spaceships or a rows of meteorites coming out from underneath it, and every once in a while a shooting star. and it was a bunch of weird shit going on all at one time with this one star. We watched that star. We know something is wrong. We don't even call it a star. We actually call it a planet. Because basically it's shining way too bright, and it ain't really flickering, except for right now. It's going out and in. You know what I mean? Other people seen it on the horizon, as you see early in the video, and they were mentioning it. And those videos was from last night when it actually happened. They didn't know what they were seeing. We don't actually know what we're seeing either, but it appears to be Betelgeuse, the big, huge red planet or sun, exploding or getting ready to explode. And when it does, it is going to impact the Earth, according to a lot of people. And some people is going to say, no, we shouldn't be affected, but they always say that because they're always trying to save face. But heads up, man, something is going down, and we don't know exactly when, so we need to be prepared for any damn thing. The number one thing that people need to do is stop sinning. Then you don't have to worry about your salvation, because you ain't going against the Most High God. You need to pray and keep yourself straight while you can, while you whole, because it's every man for himself. If you don't save yourself, no preacher, no teacher, no nobody is going to save you. It is your own personal relationship with the Most High God. And so again, people, the star is flickering in and out, or the planet, and it has a big glowing ring around it. We see it in the western sky in California at night, and I believe that this is the beginning of the end. Everything is going down. Eyes to the sky, and keep it real. This is Rap the News.